Oh, well, first of all, literally the first page of reading it, I was like, what is this? Because there was no dialogue. It was, cursor moves from upper left to bottom, opens a window, typing happens, and I just thought, wait a second, this is going to be so cold and ultimately boring. We're just looking at screens, and then the story began. And I grew up watching and loving suspense thrillers, Jagged Edge and, things like that. And I realized that we don't make those movies anymore for some reason. So that immediatly excited me. And then obviously at the end, I didn't see that coming. And I thought, okay, now we're in a whole other league. And when I found out that he was 23 when he sent it to me, I just realized that we were dealing with a visionary. Right. And I thought, okay, this kid is going to be very, very important to the future of cinema. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to support him and be a part of it. I mean, I did not know if it was going to work, but frankly, I didn't care. I just thought, I just want to be there. And I also, just, I guess, not selfishly, but, for some reason, he offered me a role that was so outside of the box of, my public persona, per se. It is not an obvious casting choice. And had it been a blockbuster, a big budget movie, there's no way I would have been on the short list. And I never get to look into the face of John Cho for the entire film, and I'm looking at an empty screen. I've got a disembodied voice in my ear, John Cho, and I've got a niche in the other ear, saying, Debra, move your eyes up 2 inches, now to the left an inch, another half inch, and then it's like, okay, that's John's face. Don't move your eyes from that spot. Now action. I mean, it was a lot of work. When he offered me the role, I said, I have 1,000 questions. And he said, did he? Yeah. And he said, okay, and I sent him 5 pages single-spaced. Now, I have to say I've never done that in my life, so, I'm not crazy, but we needed, he as a filmmaker and me as the actor, we had to be on the same page. We had to make decisions together. For how long in the beginning does she feel like, I've got this? Right, confident. Mm-hmm. And those are such minute little adjustments. And I said, okay, we've got to, and he wrote back, he was like, oh, wow. He was like, you have asked questions that I haven't even thought. He said that too. Yeah, he said that. He's like, I came back to her. And he was like, I need a minute. Yeah. I need a minute, but I'm excited, and let's do this. And when we finally figured it out, I was like, okay, now I can walk on the set feeling confident that at least we know what we're doing. But it was the most challenging thing I've ever done. My son just turned 14, so he was 12 when we began, and when I gave him the phone, I said, "This is not your phone. This is my phone." Right? And therefore, having the privilege to use my phone means that I can open it at any time, read every text, every email, your Safari history, everything. And I said, you cannot have Twitter, you cannot have Facebook, you cannot have Snapchat, you can have Instagram, but it has to be private. And I will regularly check who is following you and who you follow. And after he just sat there quietly for about 10 seconds, he was like, okay, Mom. And you know, and I feel like it's been going swimmingly, but obviously after doing this film, you realize that it's impossible to monitor your child 24 hours a day, and you know, I mean, even with our election and the hacking and the Russians, and you know, now we know that there are so many ways to make social media evil, right. Frankly. You know, manipulating identities, manipulating perceptions, and so of course kids are going to be the most vulnerable. And so you know, every parent has their own determination to make. Those were the determinations that I felt comfortable with, and I was like, you know what, once you move out, I just have to trust that I've raised you well, and that you're smart, and that you'll make good choices. But still, that doesn't guarantee anything. But the thing is that it's never going to change now. You know, whether we like it or not, our kids never had a landline.
No.
You know,
no idea what a phone is.
No, and so they communicate through devices, and that will never change. And so, to try and change it is just an act of futility, I think. Absolutely. You know, like I said, I'm so grateful to Anish and Seb, you know, for giving me the opportunity to struggle and slog through this challenge. But it is interesting. I haven't thought of it as a freedom. So it really sort of went. It basically stretched my imagination further than it's ever been asked to be stretched before. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's beyond just, you know, building a character. You know, like you said, I have no information in the film mm-hmm. to go by. Mm-hmm. You know, when I get a script, you know, I read it and then I write down in a notebook, you know, everything other people say about my character. Mm. In, you know, one part of my notebook. Okay. And then I write down, what do I say about myself? Ooh. Oh, mm-hmm. Wow. And when you read those two things next to each other, it's incredible how much information you get. Mm. Wow. About self-perception and the masks you wear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I realized I had nothing I could write down about wow. what other people think of me. Uh-huh. Mm. So I felt very I felt I had no net. I had no one that I could lean on, you know, anything familiar in terms of, you know, my process, and I felt really unsafe and unsettled. You know, perhaps I know we all did. So perhaps in some intangible way, it served the film. Mm-hmm. You know, that kind of feeling of like, yeah, you know what I mean?
A little undercurrent.
That's right. I don't know, but it was, I did, you know, and I filmed 5 days.
Out of the 13 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you know, and so you're thinking, this is a student film, you know, mm-hmm. This is like a kamikaze filmmaking. Right. And I was like, I don't understand how you can make a feature film in 13 days. And then Anish revealed to me that he had videoed himself playing every single role, before. And so he, you know, when we got on set, he was enthusiastic and he was confident, and he was like, okay, this is what we're doing. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, try it like this. All right, try it like that. Great, you know, and it was efficient. And because of its efficiency, you really had no sense of what you were making. You know, when you work on a scene for 2 hours, yeah, right. You know, from every angle, sure, you know, and you know, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I know what this is now, but you know, I got nothing. Yeah. I got nothing, and you had to basically give over completely to the process, to Anish, to the editors. I mean, the editors, it's so mind-blowing what they did.
Right.
You know, and even though I thought I knew what I was going to see, when I saw the finished product, I was like, are you kidding me? I saw it about a month before Sundance.
Okay.
And I saw it with my agent and my manager and my assistant in a private screening. And afterwards I was like, oh my God, it worked.
You impressed yourself, right?
I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, he did it. He did it. It worked. You know, and I thought that. But then I looked, because I looked to the people around me and they were like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. You know, and I thought, yes! 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 Well, you know, what I can say is that the show is what it has always been, which is pushing the boundaries and commenting on what's happening today. So I can't answer that because I don't know what the administration is going to do in 2 weeks.
Or tomorrow morning.
Right. I mean, literally, there was a scene that we did in my office where Karen throws a paper towels.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Yes.
And he's like, heads up, you know? And it was 3 days after Trump had done that in Puerto Rico. And it just so happened that we had to reshoot that scene. And so it wasn't in the original draft of the scene. So all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this just happened yesterday? No, we have to write about this today now.
Wow.
And so literally that's how the writers do it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's also stressful.
Yeah.